You started the band in 2004. What was that Christmas like, 2004? Do you still recall?
It was. Did we do a roast chicken? I think we did a roast chicken. Yeah, it was. Was it a chicken? It might have been. I don't know. I don't want that matters. We were the premise was to go into a studio and do a massive roast, and say we're going to do a roast, and we did, and it was great, and then do some music for the sake of doing music, because as I said, you can get stuck in this scenario where you're not able to do things in exactly the way you want to do them, because life's like that, you know, you can't always get what you want, you know. So we tried to create a scenario in which we could just do exactly what we want, and it was only supposed to be, I don't know, just for that Christmas, to record something and go, that was nice, and then get on with your life.
Just one song or something? Yeah,
just a few songs. We kind of demoed a couple of things, and went to Rockfield Studios in Monmouthshire, and it's a really nice studio, got really lovely kind of quarters, so you kind of stay in this big old barn, converted barn, and you know, around this giant oak table and have a roast, and it was really nice, and that's what it was supposed to be, like a holiday basically for arty douchebags. And then it turned into a band because we couldn't ignore it, and we're just going over doing our other job, whatever the heck it was, going, okay, like you can't get your eye off it, you know, and that's what it was. It was the unignorable.
Unignorable, but it took you 4 years to release an album.
Yes, it did. Because I lost my voice in the middle of it.
For 4 years?
No, for 2 of them though.
Okay, that's long. How come?
Nodules.
How come?
Nodules.
Oh, nodules, okay.
Growths on the vocal cords.
Okay.
Which means for a couple months I couldn't speak. And then after I managed to croak a little, I started being able to try and work on my speaking voice and then on my singing voice. And I got it back within about 18 months-ish, 2 years. Yeah, 18 months maybe. And that process of rehabilitation, again, it just dried everything up. And by the time I came back, my voice was different. And in a way that it was bigger and it was wider, and then I had to lose it to find it, kind of thing, because there's a lot of things missing from vocal tuition, from our understanding of how the voice works. Like, if you talk to any guitarist, they'll go, right, okay, I got sucked into some douchebag conversation and the 50s wiring of Les Pauls or something, because they know the intricacies of every little wire and the difference between what they did in the 50s to what they do today, blah, blah, blah. But no one goes into that level of intricacy with the voice at all. And I thought that there was something kind of amiss with that. So in that time that we couldn't do anything, much of anything, I retrained myself and trained in techniques that would make sure that I couldn't get nodules again. Because the anxiety that is associated with someone sneezes on you and your whole life is over is too much to bear, and try and perform and meet loads of new people as you do when you're doing this job. And so it becomes, you have to create an environment in which it is possible for you to continue, you know.
But the songs that you recorded on the first album, were they written after or before you had this with the vocal cords?
I think most of them were written after. A few of them were written before, but then re-recorded. I know that we recorded the majority of the album. We recorded a lot of an album before I lost my voice. And then we had to reapproach everything after I got my voice back. So we had to re-record everything, and then new songs started turning up, like Run, like Good Fortune, turned up after. And I think there were a few songs of that kind of, were almost like a hint to the Pines, as it were, without us knowing it at the time.
But it even took you 4 years to release a second album.
Yes, it did. But then that was down to money.
Down to money.
In that, not having any.
Yeah, because you...
And no one giving us any.
Okay.
And that's the way that it is. Like, don't get me wrong. If someone when it was ready we did it in 2010, it was ready in 2010. Okay. If someone had given us money in 2010, I would have been talking to you in 2011. Or if that's the way that it was, but no. Like, finding money, like getting this stuff together, obviously promoting the album. We were so hard promoting the album after we got it out. We were a year promoting it. So then it was, and being in that state, not doing the wonderful double-decker bus tour, but in the van tour of like Scum Tours, 08, 09 kind of thing. And so the result of it is that you're hard slogging it and you haven't got the time with that and a job to get it out. So, you know, all of these things come down. You can put down an album, you know, a year when someone's paying for you to put down an album a year. But until that point, you can't afford it. Like, people are getting evicted, you know.
Yeah, but nowadays, well, people say it's cheaper now to record an album.
Yes, it is. It is. But to do it in the right way still is
well, let's go into the
expensive.
price.